Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This is Car Reviews with me, your host, DJ, alone, by myself, left in the dust. John had other arrangements today, and Popcorn Bucket couldn't make it either. Apparently something about a Popcorn Bucket reunion, not really sure what that's all about, but either way, it is just me this time. So, I am in my car with bad lighting and bad audio and bad everything. So this is going to be really fun, but really quick. So, back in the car, so that means watched another movie. And that film is none other than Arthur the King, a movie biopic based on a true story about a dog that was picked up by adventure racers and their path through to glory in the Dominican Republic. So this film, based on a true story, does deviate a little bit from the source material, but it gets most of the core points and otherwise follows this story based on the book that was written about this. So my review, I give this film a solid 9. I really enjoyed the cinematography. If I had to pick one thing about this film that stands out above all else, it is beautifully shot. A lot of close-up cams done with like kind of GoPro style shots, a lot of long scenic shots showing what the adventure racers are dealing with in the landscape that they're in. It's just really well done. The acting is solid. The group of characters they have in the team are amazing. The dog story is really, really investing, and you just kind of get sucked into it. Not what I expected. I expected this film to be heavily laden with like the dog thing, but it was really about like the adventure team, what they were doing and how they met. And it was very organic in the way it was built. They do quite a bit on their own before the dog comes into the group. So it's just really well parsed out. Just a really good, well-rounded story with a lot of tugging at the heartstrings, which is kind of what you would expect from a film like this. Honestly, just a good pick. Great, really, really fun soundtrack, really great environments and shots and wide scenic shots. So it definitely isn't something I would normally recommend in the theater, but this one I would, because it just takes such care to use what you have in the theater to your advantage, the sound, the screen, and everything. It's really well done. So yeah, 9 out of 10 for this one. Really not much else to say. It's just a really good heartfelt film that just pulls you through. Has some really good moments of tension, really good moments of like humanity. It just does a really good job of showing what they went through when doing this thing, in a really heartfelt way. So I would recommend, and yeah, that's it for the non-spoiler part. It's just really enjoyable. If you want to see more reviews and more things that we do, please like and subscribe to the channel. We do review every Friday, as well as a lot of other content on the channel. So now that I've gone through that, I'm going to warn you, spoilers, as John would say, spoilers. I can't do it. I can't do John's bit. It's not the same. It's just not the same. I tried, but I don't think it's the same coming from me. Honestly, when it comes to spoilers for this film, it is based on a true story, but there are some liberties that this film takes. One of the biggest changes it made from the original story is the original story was about a Swedish man, and he had the team was a lot earlier in his career. This one has Mark Wahlberg wash out in 2014 and then come back, or 2015 and come back 3 years later, to try to put together a team and go race again. And he gets a group of people from all different backgrounds, including one of the ones he raced with earlier, together in a group to go do the race. And a good chunk of the beginning of the film is dedicated to getting the team together. which is actually a really fun thing. I did not expect the film to do that. I expected it to jump into the race and then have actually did a really good job of giving characters motivations to be here. A little different than like the original thing is based on, but it's enticing as a film. It makes it pull on you a little bit, gives a lot of good solid reasoning for the members to do what they're doing, and kind of helps you relate to them a little bit better. And throughout the film, they do the racing. I think it's like a couple days in or day in on one of their earlier stations. They meet the dog, and he starts following them, and then they go through like a zip line and through biking and all these trails for miles and miles, and the dog catches up to them, and they're just like enamored with this dog. And he saves one of their lives by keeping them from falling off a cliff, and he just kind of stays with them. In the trailers and leading up material, it made it look like the dog like saves them and they win from the dog, like it pulls them through, but actually the dog just follows them and actually ends up being the reason they don't finish first. They had it, they were going to make it, they were going to get first place, but they go back to save the dog and end up second. In real life, they ended up 12th. But the story of the dog itself becomes really big on social media, and he's like really sick and not doing well, and he gets aid, and they get him back to the help that he needs, and he's able to get taken care of. So it's like really cool. But I really enjoyed that build up to the character. It's really well done. It's really well set. There's a lot of tension building, not just with the dog pulling your heartstrings, but there's tension with the team. They have some arguments, they grind on each other a little bit, but it's not like the type of film where everybody doesn't get along until they do. No, they have each other's backs from the very beginning as a team. They're always a team first, and they bicker and joke at each other's expenses, but they always have each other's backs, and they do anything to take care of each other. And the dog becomes a member of the team, and so they treat him the same way. And that's why they're willing to lose the race to do this. And it's just kind of like a fun story. Like, it doesn't have that sports ending where they win the big game. They get second, and they still do okay. But that's not what it's about. It's Mark Wahlberg's character, he gets something out of it. He had a family at home, but he just didn't really realize what that was until he saw this dog fight through it, and it gave him reason to retire and move on with his life and now start a new adventure, because he saw a kinship with the dog, and realized that it was just time to move on to the next adventure. It's just a really fun, solid way to pull him back into his home life without him feeling like his glory days are behind him. Like, there's still more he has to offer in life and more he can do by giving it all to his family. And so it just does a really good job of wrapping that up. Really good characters. There's some rivalries in there, but they're mostly friendly rivalries. There's a little bit of bickering between the teams, but everyone's really just, it's real. Everyone feels like real people, that sometimes they're a jerk, sometimes they're nice. There's a little bit of it, but everybody tries to kind of be the best they can. Just a really fun adventure in the film. I really enjoyed the moments where the team was working together and gaining things out of it, other than just that they were moving forward in the race. They were learning things about each other. They were taking care of each other. They were doing their best to make sure that several times a couple of the different teammates lag behind a little bit, and they work to take care of them and make sure that they're doing well. So it was just a really heartwarming, fun, and entertaining film. I did not expect this to be a type of film that would be, it's not really action-packed, but there's good, solid builds and tension when they get stuck on a zip line. And it's not like a super serious thing when it happens, but it could end up disastrous. Like, it's a long fall, someone could get killed. But they work through it, and but for most of it, the biggest threat to them is dehydration or exhaustion. Exposure mostly is the biggest thing they have to worry about. And that's they're fighting against the clock. They're fighting against their own exhaustion. They take 1 hour naps 15 miles at a time, and they're barely resting throughout this journey. They get like, I think, 1.5 hours of rest over 3 days. And so they're exhausted, they're burnt out, but they still keep pushing forward. And the dog gives them motivation because they see what he was able to go through, even though he's been like neglected and beaten up. So overall, good experience. I really had a good time. I let us know in the comments what you thought of the film, if you saw it or if you plan to see it. I hope you enjoy it too. Thanks for watching. We hope you really enjoy our content, and please come back, like, subscribe, and join us for more. Thanks for watching.